You open your eyes and immediately reach for your phone. Notifications flash, news headlines shout, social media scrolls. Without realizing it, your heart speeds up, your breathing gets shallow, your shoulders tense. You haven't even stepped out of bed, yet your body is already preparing to fight or run. This isn't because you're weak. This is because you're living inside a hidden mental trap that tricks your ancient nervous system into thinking danger is everywhere. You step into it every day, but once you learn to see it, you can step out. This speech will show you how. Modern life is a masterpiece of hidden alarms. Your ancestors experienced the fight or flight response only when a predator appeared or a sudden storm threatened the village. It was a short burst of survival energy: run, climb, fight, hide, and then it ended. Today you're not facing wild animals, but your nervous system hasn't evolved as fast as your environment. Every ping of a notification, every piece of bad news, every comparison on social media triggers that same primitive mechanism. The danger isn't real, but the response is. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through headlines, rush through breakfast, sit in traffic, answer emails. Without a single lion in sight, your body has released cortisol and adrenaline dozens of times before lunch. You're not in control of your day. The hidden trap is in control of you. When you live in this invisible trap, you begin to normalize it. The tension in your shoulders feels like part of life. The racing thoughts at night seem unavoidable. You might even mistake the adrenaline for productivity, but chronic fight or flight is not energy, it's erosion. It erodes your focus, your patience, your immune system. It shortens your breath, raises your heart rate, and lowers your ability to think clearly. Decisions made from this state are reactive, not creative. Relationships suffer because you are easily irritated. Long-term goals stall because your brain is stuck in survival mode, unable to plan for the future. This is the true cost of the trap. Becoming aware of it is the first and most powerful step. Awareness turns the invisible visible. It's like suddenly seeing the bars of a cage you've been sitting in. Start by observing your mornings. Notice how you feel before you touch your phone. Notice how you feel after. Pay attention to the small triggers throughout your day, the email subject lines that spike your heart rate, the sound of a message tone that makes your stomach tighten, the way traffic or crowds make your breath shallow. You're not imagining it. Your nervous system is reacting as if you are in danger. When you start to see these reactions clearly, you stop blaming yourself and start recognizing the pattern. Seeing the trap also means understanding how your own thoughts can activate fight or flight. The mind doesn't distinguish between an external threat and an internal image. If you repeatedly rehearse worst-case scenarios, recall past failures, or imagine future disasters, you send the same danger signal to your body. Many people live in a state of chronic emergency created entirely by their own thinking. This is not a moral failing, it's a habit. And like all habits, it can be changed once you're aware of it. Another sign of the trap is the inability to fully rest. Even when you're sitting still, your mind races. You scroll through your phone late at night, unable to stop. You wake up tired because your nervous system never truly returned to baseline. This exhaustion makes you more reactive the next day, which keeps you in the loop. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. Without intervention, it can last for years, but the moment you name it, you begin to loosen its grip. You realize, I am not lazy, I am not broken. My system is stuck in survival mode. In this first chapter, your only task is to look. No judgment, no drastic changes yet. Just observe. See how often your body goes into fight or flight without real danger. See how often you volunteer for stress by scrolling, rushing, comparing, imagining. Keep a simple journal. Note your triggers, note how your breathing changes. This simple act of noticing pulls you out of automatic mode and into awareness. Awareness is already a form of calm. It's the first crack in the trap. As you continue to observe, you'll start noticing small spaces between trigger and reaction. You'll see a notification and realize your shoulders tensed. You'll feel a surge of adrenaline and pause instead of immediately reacting. This pause is the beginning of freedom. It's the place where you can choose a new response. In the chapters to come, you'll learn practical ways to reset your system, but everything begins with this, seeing the invisible trap you step into daily. Without that sight, every technique is just another task. With it, every technique becomes a tool for liberation. Imagine living a day where your nervous system stays calm even as the world swirls around you. You wake up, breathe deeply, move slowly, and begin your work with focus instead of panic. You hear a notification, but you don't jump. You face a problem, but you don't spiral. This isn't fantasy. It's the natural state of a system not trapped in fight or flight. And the first step toward it is seeing clearly how you've been caught. The invisible becomes visible. The trap loses its power. You reclaim your mornings, your mind, and your life. Every system in your body is designed for rhythm. Your heart speeds up and slows down. Your muscles tighten and relax. Your mind focuses and then drifts. When your nervous system is balanced, these rhythms create a sense of flow. You think clearly, act deliberately, recover quickly. But when you are caught in the hidden mental trap of chronic fight or flight, those rhythms are hijacked. Your body never really returns to baseline. You stay in a constant state of mild emergency, like an engine idling too high. Over time, this state quietly drains your energy and fragments your focus, even though on the surface you may appear busy and driven. Think of your energy as a bank account. In a balanced state, you make deposits through rest, nutrition, positive emotions, and meaningful action. You make withdrawals when you work hard, solve problems, face challenges. In a healthy system, deposits and withdrawals roughly match. But chronic fight or flight is like a hidden tax that takes money from your account even while you sleep. Elevated cortisol at night disrupts deep rest. Shallow breathing robs your cells of oxygen. Tight muscles waste energy holding tension you don't need. By morning you're already in deficit. You wake up tired, reach for caffeine, and push harder. The harder you push, the more your nervous system thinks you're in danger. The more danger it senses, the more energy it drains to protect you. This is the cycle that leaves so many people exhausted even when they do everything right. This state also sabotages your ability to focus. When you're in fight or flight, the brain shifts blood flow away from the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for long-term planning, impulse control, and creative problem solving, and toward the primitive parts of the brain geared for survival. You become more vigilant but less strategic, more reactive but less wise. You can still work, but your work is scattered. You jump from task to task, start projects without finishing them, make impulsive decisions. You feel busy all day but accomplish little. This isn't a character flaw, it's biology. A brain in survival mode can't easily hold complex plans or deep focus. Relationships suffer in this state too. When your body thinks it's under threat, empathy shuts down. You interpret neutral faces as hostile. You snap at loved ones, misread emails, lose patience. Over time, this creates conflict that further feeds your stress. You start believing people are against me, when in fact your nervous system is simply primed for threat. Trap becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Stress creates tension, tension creates conflict, conflict creates more stress. Your goals suffer as well. Long-term growth requires delayed gratification, planting seeds today for a harvest months or years from now. But fight or flight makes you crave immediate relief. You procrastinate on important work because it feels overwhelming. You seek quick hits of dopamine from social media, sugar, or small wins. Each moment of relief reinforces the habit of avoidance, and your bigger dreams stall. You tell yourself you lack discipline when in truth your nervous system lacks safety. A stressed brain does not invest in the future, it survives the present. Even your perception of time is distorted. In survival mode, everything feels urgent. You rush tasks that don't need rushing. You fill your schedule to avoid the discomfort of slowing down. This constant urgency burns your fuel faster and prevents true recovery. Without realizing it, you train yourself to equate stillness with danger and busyness with safety. This is why so many people feel anxious when they try to meditate or rest. Their system interprets calm as unfamiliar, even threatening. The trap is complete. You fear the very state that would heal you. There is also a spiritual cost. Chronic fight or flight disconnects you from your inner guidance. When your mind is loud and your body tense, the quiet voice of intuition is drowned out. Decisions made from this state are often misaligned with your deeper values. You may achieve external success but feel empty because you've been running from fear instead of moving from purpose. This is the ultimate theft of the trap. It steals not just your energy and focus, but your sense of self. Recognizing these effects is not meant to discourage you, but to give you clarity. When you see how the trap drains you, you stop blaming yourself and start addressing the real issue. You realize that willpower alone will never be enough as long as your nervous system thinks you're in danger. You must restore safety first. Safety is the soil in which discipline and focus naturally grow. Begin by noticing how your body feels during different activities. Which tasks leave you tense and shallow-breathed? Which environments make you relax? Pay attention to your breath as a barometer of your state. Slow, deep breathing indicates calm. Fast, shallow breathing indicates fight or flight. Simply observing this without judgment begins to break the automatic loop. Awareness brings choice. Choice begins to restore power. You can also start making small energy deposits throughout your day. Step outside for 2 minutes of fresh air. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Unclench your jaw and drop your shoulders. Turn off notifications for a short block of focused work. These simple acts tell your nervous system, I am safe. Over time, safety signals accumulate, cortisol lowers, your sleep improves, your mind clears. Energy and focus return not as a struggle, but as a natural consequence of a regulated system. The truth is, you are not weak, lazy, or broken. You are a powerful organism caught in a powerful trap. The same system that once saved your ancestors' lives is now misfiring in a modern environment. Understanding this frees you from shame. It opens the door to compassion for yourself and curiosity about new ways of living. In the next chapter, you will learn practical methods to break the cycle and reset your system. But for now, hold this realization. Your lack of energy and focus is not a personal failure. It is a nervous system crying out for safety. When you give it that safety, your natural clarity and power will return. You will no longer feel like you are fighting yourself just to get through the day. You will feel like you are finally steering your own ship. When you finally see the trap and understand how it drains your energy and focus, the natural question is, how do I break free? Most people try to escape by forcing themselves to be calm or by quitting everything that stresses them. That rarely works. The nervous system doesn't respond to orders, it responds to signals. If you want to reset your system and break the cycle of fight or flight, you have to start sending it consistent signals of safety and agency. These signals don't have to be dramatic. They have to be regular and believable. Little by little, they tell your body, I am no longer under threat, and your mind follows. The first signal is breath. Your breath is the remote control of your nervous system. In fight or flight, your breathing becomes rapid and shallow. Your body thinks it must run or fight. By consciously slowing and deepening your breath, you send the opposite message. A simple practice: inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold for a count of 2, exhale through your mouth for a count of 6. Do this for 1 minute when you wake up, before a meeting, after reading stressful news. Don't underestimate how powerful 1 minute can be. You're not just calming down, you're teaching your ancient system a new baseline. Over time, your default state shifts from survival to balance. The second signal is movement, not frantic exercise to burn stress off, but mindful movement that tells your body you're safe. Stretching, slow walking, tai chi, yoga, even just rolling your shoulders and unclenching your fists. In fight or flight, muscles are constantly preparing for action. Gentle movement completes that loop and allows them to release. This is why people instinctively shake or pace after a shock. Build small doses of mindful movement into your day. Stand up every hour, roll your shoulders, take a slow lap outside. Think of it as discharging the static electricity of stress. The third signal is focus. Fight or flight scatters your attention across multiple threats. Safety focuses it. One of the fastest ways to reset your system is to single task. Pick one small activity: making tea, washing your hands, writing a list, and do it with full attention. Feel the warmth of the mug, the texture of the water, the weight of the pen. This is not a luxury. It's retraining your nervous system to recognize the present moment as safe and manageable. Even 30 seconds of true presence is a crack of light in the dark room of chronic stress. The fourth signal is environment. Your surroundings constantly talk to your nervous system. Clutter, noise, harsh lighting, and constant digital pings are micro-threats. You can't control the whole world, but you can shape small spaces of safety. Clear one corner of your desk. Silence notifications for half an hour. Dim the lights. Put on gentle instrumental music. Step outside and look at something natural. A tree, the sky, a plant on your windowsill. Nature cues your system that life continues, that danger is absent. These tiny environmental tweaks are not trivial. They're the language of safety. The fifth signal is self-talk. Remember that your mind can trigger fight or flight just as powerfully as an external threat. Notice the stories you repeat to yourself. I'm behind, I'll never catch up, everyone's judging me. Each one is an alarm bell. Begin replacing them with grounding statements. I have time. I can do one thing at a time. I am safe right now. You don't have to believe these statements at first. You just have to offer them as a counter signal. Over time, your nervous system will begin to trust them, and your body will respond. Breaking the cycle also means respecting recovery. You cannot heal in the same environment that keeps wounding you. Build small rituals of true rest. This might be a 5-minute break with no phone, a walk without earbuds, a slow cup of tea without multitasking, a few minutes of quiet before bed. Recovery isn't laziness, it's maintenance. Think of it like sharpening a blade. A blade that never stops cutting soon becomes dull. When you honor recovery, your effectiveness during action increases. You stop burning fuel on panic and start using it for purpose. Another powerful practice is naming your state. Simply saying to yourself, "I'm in fight or flight," creates distance. You are no longer lost inside the reaction. You are observing it. This activates the part of the brain responsible for self-control. Over time, you develop what some call state literacy, the ability to recognize and shift your internal state instead of being ruled by it. This is the beginning of mastery. You are no longer a passenger in your nervous system. You are the driver. The final element is patience. Your nervous system didn't get stuck overnight. It won't reset overnight. But every small signal of safety is like a drop of water on a stone. Day by day, it wears a new groove. One day, you'll notice you woke up without dread. You paused before reacting to a stressful email. You enjoyed a moment of silence without reaching for your phone. These are signs that the cycle is breaking. Celebrate them. They are not small. They are freedom in disguise. Breaking the cycle isn't about eliminating all stress. Life will always have challenges. It's about teaching your system to move fluidly between activation and calm, to rise when needed and return to rest when safe. This flexibility is called resilience. Resilience doesn't come from never feeling stressed. It comes from knowing how to recover quickly. When you master this, you stop living as a hunted animal and start living as a conscious human being. In this chapter, you've learned that the way out of fight or flight isn't a single dramatic act, but a series of consistent signals. Slow breath, mindful movement, focused attention, safe environments, gentle self-talk, true recovery, naming your state, and patience. Each signal is a vote for calm, and votes accumulate. The trap loses power. Energy returns. Focus sharpens. In the next chapter, you'll see how to transform this new state into a foundation for growth, purpose, and deeper connection. For now, know this: you are not doomed to live in survival mode. You have the power to retrain your system. The cycle can be broken, and you can reset yourself, one signal at a time. When your nervous system begins to shift from chronic fight or flight into balance, you will notice more than relief from stress. You will notice a new kind of spaciousness inside you. Your breathing feels fuller, your thoughts are slower, your body softer. This calm isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a different way of living. Many people think peace is simply the absence of problems, but true peace is an active state, a fertile ground where purpose and growth can finally take root. When you are no longer consumed by survival, the energy you used to spend on vigilance becomes available for creation, connection, and contribution. This is the stage where you begin to transform your calm into direction. In survival mode, you made decisions from urgency. You chased what promised immediate relief. In a regulated state, you can hear subtler signals, intuition, curiosity, values. Ask yourself questions you couldn't ask before. What matters most to me now? What kind of life do I want to build? Whom do I want to serve? These questions aren't abstract. They're a way of orienting your newly freed attention. Without this step, you risk slipping back into old habits because the mind dislikes a vacuum. Purpose fills the vacuum with meaning. Begin small. Choose one area of your life, your health, your relationships, your work, your learning, and imagine what thriving looks like there. Not in a vague someday, but in concrete daily actions. If you've been operating in fight or flight for years, your goals may need to be gentler at first. Instead of "I will reinvent my entire career," start with "I will spend 20 minutes each morning on a project that excites me." Instead of "I will become the perfect partner," start with "I will give 5 minutes of undivided attention to my loved one each evening." These small commitments are seeds. In a calm nervous system, seeds germinate. Growth in this phase also means learning to tolerate expansion. Ironically, Calm and success can feel uncomfortable at first. You may have built an identity around struggle. When life starts feeling easier, a part of you may search for new crises. Recognize this impulse without judgment. It's simply the old survival wiring looking for familiar danger. When you feel the urge to sabotage your progress, pause and remind yourself, ease is safe, growth is safe. I don't need chaos to feel alive. This self-reassurance allows your new identity to solidify. Another key shift is how you use your focus. In fight or flight, focus is narrow and defensive. In a balanced state, focus becomes broad and creative. You can hold multiple perspectives, imagine long-term outcomes, innovate. Use this to design systems that support your goals. Instead of relying on bursts of adrenaline to get things done, build routines that flow with your natural rhythms. Schedule deep work in the morning when your mind is fresh. Place restorative breaks between demanding tasks. Create rituals of beginning and ending your workday so your body knows when to rise and when to rest. This is how you convert your new calm into sustainable productivity. Relationships also transform in this stage. When you're no longer on alert, you can listen deeply. You become less reactive and more responsive. Conversations shift from defensive to curious. Trust grows. This is not only healing for you, but for others around you. Your calm nervous system becomes a regulating force for family, colleagues, even strangers. In a world addicted to stress, your presence becomes an oasis. People feel safer and more open around you. This is how personal growth ripples outward into collective healing. With your system regulated, you also gain the capacity to face challenges more skillfully. Calm is not fragility, it is strength. A regulated nervous system can rise to meet difficulty without losing itself. Instead of panicking, you assess. Instead of lashing out, you choose. This is resilience. Resilience means you can pursue ambitious goals without burning out because you know how to recover. It also means setbacks no longer define you. You bounce back faster because you're anchored in a deeper state of safety and purpose. Spiritual growth often emerges naturally at this point. In the noise of fight or flight, the subtle inner voice of wisdom was drowned out. In calm, it becomes audible again. Whether you call it intuition, conscience, or something greater, you begin to sense a larger context for your life. This isn't about adopting a belief system. It's about recognizing a felt sense of connection to yourself, to others, to life itself. From this connection, decisions align more easily with your values. You stop pushing and start flowing. You experience moments of synchronicity and insight that feel like life meeting you halfway. To anchor this stage, keep practicing the basics that freed you from the trap: conscious breathing, mindful movement, focused attention, safe environments, supportive self-talk. These are not temporary fixes but lifelong practices. Think of them as tending the soil. The more consistently you tend it, the more your purpose and growth will flourish. You will notice your capacity expanding to work deeply, to love fully, to create boldly. This is not a manic surge, it's a steady rising tide. Finally, remember that growth is cyclical, not linear. You will still have stressful days. You will still slip into old patterns. This doesn't mean you failed, it means you're human. Each time you notice and return to your practices, you strengthen your resilience. Over months and years, your baseline shifts. Fight or flight becomes the exception, not the rule. Calm becomes home. From this home, you can venture far and wide, knowing you have a place inside yourself to return to. Transforming calm into purpose and growth is not about becoming a perfect, stress-free person. It's about reclaiming the energy once stolen by survival and investing it in what truly matters. It's about building a life where your nervous system is an ally, not an enemy, where your focus is guided by values, not alarms, where your presence uplifts rather than reacts. This is the hidden gift of breaking the trap. It's not just relief from stress. It's the freedom to live, create, and contribute from your fullest self. When you reach this point, you realize the fight or flight trap was never who you were. It was a state you were stuck in. Beneath it, you were always calm, focused, and purposeful. The practices you've learned don't change you into someone else. They reveal who you've been all along. That is the real secret, and it's no longer hidden.